What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on Subnautica. When we left off in the last episode, we were over at the one of the mountain islands. I think it's referred to as the mountain area island thingy. I don't know. That's what it's referred to by me, the mountain area island thingy. And we managed to get there in time for the sunbeam to arrive and die, basically, so we're screwed and we're not getting off this planet. But that's okay, because this planet's awesome. So, a couple of things on the agenda today. As you can see, we have the bioreactor going now. I've got some creepvine, decomposing creepvine in here. Interesting how one of them said old creepvine sample a second ago, and now it says decomposing. So I went through and harvested all of the seed clusters of that one plant, because it had fully grown. And when I harvested all of them, I actually had enough for all of these, so I had a total of 8, I think, per plant. So that's a pretty useful return, because one plant will give you 8, and you can hold 6 in a planter. So, yeah. So you can sacrifice one plant and refill the whole thing if you wanted to harvest everything, kind of thing, and you can just say one is for one set of seeds is just for replanting type of thing, and you'll still get a lot more and use the rest for lubricant or rubber or whatever else you need the seeds for. So that's pretty cool. And then you could use the plants for the bioreactor. I'm thinking of doing, I don't know how viable it is, but I'm thinking of doing some different power sources this go around, because solar panels seemed to possibly be one of the causes of my frame rate from the last build, or the last world save. So I'm wondering if I did something out of a different power source, like bioreactor, or you could always go nuclear, but I like renewable stuff, and I don't know that there's always renewable sources of nuclear material. So I'm thinking either heat or bioreactor or something like that. There is a, I don't know what they're actually called, but there's a heat vent thing right here. So a thermal generator with some power relays to the base would be a really good source, I think, given how close it is. So there's a few things that I did on the way back. I stopped at a couple of wrecks, found a couple more PDAs, or one actually PDA, but I found some more blueprints. Let's see, plus what we found in the last episode. I got these from actually just harvesting creepvine, I guess. So we have the trash can one now, we have floodlights now, a sea glide I got in this episode, or before this episode, and the other ones we got from the last one, the propulsion cannon and the pressure upgrades and all that from finding them in the Aurora, as well as a vehicle modification station, but I don't have a moon pool, so that doesn't really do a lot for me yet. Now, there is more blueprints to be had at the other island, the floating island, the original island. There are still blueprints for me to get there. I haven't gone back there, so there is that. However, I think we're going to start off this episode by going through the logs. Oh, and one thing I wanted to point out is the ping manager. I've noticed it for the last 2 or 3 episodes and haven't brought it up. They've changed the ping system now to where you get these cool little icons instead of the pulsing white icons all the time. And I had one for a signal. There it is. And so you can actually pull up your ping manager, and you can turn off, or you can change the color. Like we can make this one gray, or we can turn it off entirely, and then you won't see it. And if you turn it back on, boom. So if we get to a point where this is no longer useful to us, we don't need it for anything, you can turn that off. And same with the Seamoth, if you're docking it. You know, there was a few times in the previous videos where there was just pings all over the screen. So now you can actually manage those, which is pretty cool. I just wanted to bring that up because I hadn't addressed it, and it had been something I saw a while back. So, I don't think it's the voice logs I want. The drive core shielding sustained moderate internal damage during collision. I don't remember what that was. PDA attention. Okay, so this is what I picked up in the wreck that I was at.
Attention. Patching in a local broadcast from the sun.
Oh, wait, no. Nope, never mind. That's what...
Attention.
That's what blew up.
In a local
Ah, crap.
broadcast from the sunbeam.
Okay, sorry about that. So that was what we had before when the sunbeam showed up, so it is all in the databank then. This is not important. I'm just going to clear these notifications. Okay. Alien life form, fauna, herbivore. No, that's just the fish. Alright, so data downloads. So we still have some from the Degassi survivors that we've been finding. We found some of these on the, whatchamacallit, on the floating island, and I think we've gone through those before. Maybe not the search and rescue, but I think the Degassi ones, I think they were the ones that set up the base on the island, so we can read through those at some point, but I'm pretty sure we've read those before, but I'll leave them there. The alien ones, however, these are all stuff that we picked up from going to that facility, which is apparently the disease research facility, and that's the one that blew up the sunbeam. And I was told in a comment from the last episode that reading all these information snippet things may actually lead you somewhere else. Hint, hint, wink, wink, you know, that kind of thing. So we're going to go through them real quick, or as quick as possible. This device contains functional information regarding a second alien facility on the planet. Disease Research Facility Personnel 7. So maybe we weren't at the disease one. Maybe it's telling us this is where the disease one is. Function, live specimen study, objective, synthesis of antidote for highly infectious bacterium designated Carar. Method, infection of live specimens with bacteria, observation of immune response, surviving specimens sent to primary facility for further analysis. Precautions, remote containment and research sites to reduce risk of contagion, off-site thermal power generator, ground-to-air quarantine enforcement platform in case of security breach. So there's an off-site thermal power generator. I think this is referencing, I believe there's a base down in the lava lake where we went in the last series, whatever. I think they've added a precursor building there. So this is probably where the thermal power generator is. The ground-to-air quarantine is, I think, where we were. So it was technically a quarantine, but it was ground-to-air, and then we're reading about the disease research facility. So I guess there's 3, if I'm reading this right. In the event of outbreak, quarantine procedures will be automatically enforced with immediate effect. The quarantine enforcement platform will target all incoming and outgoing craft to prevent the spread of infection off-world. The facility was built at a depth of 700 meters, approximately 1 kilometer southwest of the enforcement platform. Okay, so if we went a kilometer southwest of where we were with the turret and went down 700 meters, that should give us the location of the disease research facility. Massive energy readings for this structure indicate this main reactor powering it is the main reactor powering the facility. So that was the energy core. The artifact terminal, this device appears to be alien in origin and is connected up to a nearby force field. The technology is far beyond anything encountered before by the Federation. Nonetheless, it appears to function like a normal lock. It only needs the correct kind of key. So that's where you put the artifacts, and then it opens doors usually. This structure's intended purpose is unclear. Possible theories: ceremonial or religious role, industrial applications, advanced transportation network. It may be prudent to search the area for further examples of alien architecture and technology. That was, I guess, the overall structure. The artifact. Algae growth on the exterior of this device indicates it was abandoned hundreds of years ago. Despite its age, its power source appears to be functional. It may be compatible with other alien technologies. So that's the actual tablet thing, I think. Now, this was from the data terminal that we downloaded, so this should be more information. This terminal was discovered within the alien facility on the surface of planet 4546b. On approach, the terminal began producing a low-frequency radio wave containing complex but recognizable data patterns. Matches no known technologies constructed from the same off-world material as the facility itself. Seems to be a solid-state computer of some kind, no recognizable user interface. It is likely the alien species which designed this technology evolved or genetically selected sensory apparatus to hear and understand the information being broadcast by the device and to communicate back. The mental processing power required to perform this kind of telepathy would imply the designers are considerably more physiologically developed than the common human. Using the evidence gathered from this device, it may be possible to extract comprehensible data from other such devices should they exist. Assessment further alien data required. Alright, so that kind of sums up what we ran across in our endeavors with the aliens. Now, I have a couple of options here. Along the way, I collected some silver. So we have 2 silver at the moment, I think. I don't think I had any extra laying around. No, mostly gold. So we have a couple of options. My one idea was to build a battery charger because it requires a computer chip, copper wire, glass, titanium. I can make all that. So I wanted to make one of these. However, if we wanted to go poke our head around in the new facility and go look for that, I might have to do a propulsion cannon because that's a really good weapon for defending yourself against the little crab guys and things like that, though it hasn't been too big of a deal. It is something I thought about doing. Actually, though, looking at it needing an advanced wiring kit, I guess I only need 1 more silver. Actually, hold on. An advanced wiring kit only requires 1 silver because it requires a computer chip. Oh, okay, so I already have enough. Oh, well that's pleasant. I think the power cell charger is another thing that I need to get to. Now, the other alternative is we could go fully investigate the Aurora and deal with that situation. I'm kind of leaning more towards the, alien facility, mainly because we've kind of seen the Aurora before, and right at the moment, the only thing I can think of that's of any real value to us is the prawn suit in the Aurora, and we're not really there yet. Like, I don't really think I have anywhere close to the materials and stuff to make it. So I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna go make a battery charger, charge up my... Hey! What's wrong with you? Oh, I guess it just ran out of leaves, or vines. And it went from 50 to 110, so it does about 60 power per 4 creep vine. And I'm sure there's better things to put in there, but that's a decent source because it's very early. You can get that really quickly, and we've already talked about the gain that you can get. Alright, so let me check. I'm going to need some more quartz, I think. But yeah, let me gather some stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a propulsion cannon and a battery charger. Probably put the charger over here for now. And we're going to charge up our stuff, recharge all of our gear. I actually, from the Aurora, have some nutrient blocks and water, so we should have a decent source of food to work with. So that should be fine. I wish I had a power cell charger, though I did find a power cell in there, so I could bring that with us just in case our current one on our Seamoth dies. And then we should be good to go to investigate, so let me get all that taken care of. Okay, so I finally managed to re-find the mountain island, which for whatever reason, I don't know why, I had a hard time finding it again. But I managed to find it again, so we're good to go. This is our starting point.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
We're about 35% on our energy for our ship, but I did bring a power cell with us, so that should help. So, if we read this correctly, the facility should be at a depth of 700 meters and approximately 1 kilometer southwest of the enforcement facility. So we want to point southwest, which is kind of odd, because it's basically the same direction we came from, right? So that's a little weird, in my opinion. What are those dots on the... I guess those are stars clipping through the water line, maybe? And I'm gonna go out... You saw it was 1,500 meters on our gaugey thingy-mabobber over there for the LifePod 5, so I'm gonna go out till about it's 500? I'm thinking. And that should be about 1 kilometer away, and then we'll drop down. Obviously, I added the compensator module from the other episode where we found it in the Aurora, but it still put it at 300 for our Seamoth. But I did manage to be smart enough to make a rebreather, so we can go further. I just can't take the Seamoth with us. The Seamoth is gonna have to stop. Alright, so about another 4... We're in, like, the shallows, though, at this point, so I don't know how we're going to go 700 meters down. I mean, unless I'm missing something, which is totally likely. And there's a wreck there, so that's convenient. Or unless this cliff just all of a sudden drops off out of nowhere. Also possible. Actually, this looks like a fairly large creepvine area. I forget the actual biome, kelp forest or whatever the actual biome has. Now there is... No. I was gonna say now there is a... Now, here's the other thing. That's a relative distance. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. What I mean by relative is because I'm not going the same direction. It is highly possible that we already went 1 kilometer further back. But because we're still going away from the life pod, it's going to come up and tell us that we're not quite 1,000, you know, because we're actually moving. I don't know. That's possible. It's also possible we didn't go far enough. It's a random little... Oh, there's the rest of the wreck. I was like, that's a random wreck. In case you were wondering, I'm kind of just trying to stay in the relative southwest direction, but kind of look for an area that starts going deeper, because we need a lot of depth if we're actually going to go... See, we're almost back to the... We're probably only about 400 kilometers away at this point, or 400 meters away at this point. I mean, I don't see the... Hey! What? Dude, that thing followed me all the way up to the surface. He's determined. Maybe it's more west than south. That would also kind of help a little bit. So let's head this way. Now, the other big risk is the Leviathans. That's... because they start showing up in deeper waters and further away and all that crap, so... This could end rather poorly. Depending on how all this goes. I mean, I know they're not in mushroom biomes, so that's cool. Or at least last time I checked. So, I'm kind of thinking... At some point, we should hit a cliff or something, where it drops off. Because otherwise, I mean, heading southwest is great and all, but if it never reaches a 700-meter depth, then I don't know how to get there. So I'm kind of just going to keep following along the downward path, I suppose. Oh, I should be looking at fragments and crap through here, shouldn't I? Like a dummy. I'm just all hung up on precursor tech, not even looking for fragments or anything that could totally... Because mushroom biomes have a certain specific... Actually, I think you can get the moon pool room and stuff like that in these biomes. Whatever. I wasn't paying attention. Still not paying attention. There's one right here. And there's also the element of I probably shouldn't be doing this, to be quite honest, because at 700 meters you're probably supposed to be in a Cyclops at that point. And I'm not. So, rather silly of me, but whatever. I saved it before I left. Oh, that's not good. Are you certain whatever you're doing is worth it? That's that's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. I'm detecting multiple Leviathan-class life forms in your area. Are you certain whatever you're doing is worth it?
Passing safe depth.
Passing approaching.
Warning. Maximum depth reached.
Ah,
Hull damage imminent.
Crap. Well, that ain't good. Oh, geez, that's even worse. Yep, much worse. Can you let go of me? Thank you. Run away! Little people first. That was terrifying, not gonna lie. Yeah, so not worth it at the moment, I don't think. By the way, I like how the bubble is leaking now. That's kind of hilarious. In a terrifying, I want my mommy kind of way. Yeah, so definitely seems like we're not ready for that yet. Ooh, though I did get a 1 of 2 for the thermal plant fragment. Oh, there's the other one. Sweet. So not a total loss. And I suppose I could go ahead and just repair my submersible. So yeah, a little bit ahead of the game there. Got kind of bit off more than I could chew. But you know, what you gonna do? Actually, I should probably go back through the mushroom forest over here, wherever I was, and see if I can find some of those other rarer blueprints like moon pools. And I still haven't found a water filtration one either. That's something else that I need to find, because I don't know if they tweaked it in a patch not too long ago or something or other, but it seems to me like ever since a few, like 1 or 2 major updates ago, it just kind of seems like water like your hydration level just depletes really rapidly. And like I said, I could be wrong, that could just be my imagination talking, but I really don't think it is. It seems something that I've like continually noticed after a certain point in their update periods. I mean, I'm sure it's probably along the lines of like realism and stuff, that you can go a while without eating, but drinking and stuff you need kind of regularly. And it does seem to worsen the more you're swimming around as opposed to piloting a ship and stuff. So that could be part of it as well. I don't know. But it definitely seems like there was a point where a while ago it really wasn't a concern all that much, and now it's kind of like, dude, you need water, you know, more so than food sources. But so I'm a little disappointed that I haven't found that. I think there's a specific wreck I need to go to though for the filtration system. I don't recall. There's a life pod over here though. That merits investigation. I'm so glad I have a rebreather at this point, though, because you don't realize how much those help you, but because they essentially nullify death, or they do not nullify death, they nullify depth, is what I was thinking. Oh, jeez. They nullify death. Yes, you have a rebreather, you will just never die from anything, ever. They nullify death. That's what they do. But yeah, those help a lot, because otherwise you just run out of air so fast when you get down into deeper areas and stuff because of the pressure. So the rebreather is a really good thing to have. Uh-oh. We're almost done with the Cyclops, it looks like. Because I'm pretty sure we finished the bridge a second ago. There we go! Cyclops is done! Alright, plasteel ingots, enameled glass, lubricant, advanced wiring kit. They haven't changed that too much. There's a few things that look a little different. Life pods, what are you? Goods and allow... Wait, what? Oh. Helps if you start at the beginning. Life pod system online, passenger 7, emissary Jokai Kassar? Maybe? Has boarded the life pod. Life pod launch sequence initiated. Life pod detached from Aurora. Okay. Onboard microphones recording. My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day and my daily goods and allow me my pleasures as I allow those who seek pleasures from me. So that's basically like a complete parody of the Lord's Prayer, basically. That's what they're doing there. It's actually kind of funny. Well, clever. It's kind of clever. Entering planetary atmosphere, external temperature approaching critical levels. Show me the path in life, truth and love, in substance, principle and mind. For mine is the power. I am the one forever and ever, on and off and on again. Wow. 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 Anyway, exterior hull damage sustained. Life support systems failed. Impact imminent. Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done pretending to be merely this bundle of flesh. I am ready to play for a different side. That's weird and different. Okay, so here's the thermal blueprint. Thermal plant readings, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That was that. We have another message, apparently, so we should probably head back to the base and see what that's about, because, I'm trying to figure out who's contacting me, since the, sunbeam went... So yeah, let's go investigate. Okay, so I made it back. Whoops, no, wrong button. Actually not wrong button. I need to eat and drink, because, wow, I was down to 30 on both. So let's see who's contacting us, and then we'll probably wrap this up. Message. CPU, high priority automated message from the Aurora LifePod 13, coordinates attached. LifePod contains the last known remains of passenger emissary Jokai Kassar. I said Jokai Kassar. Why do I have to record this anyway? Send immediate burial detail. So the interesting part there is that we actually already found that, because we just found the data pad. So that's kind of interesting that it was like we actually found the pod before we got a message to go find the pod. Though it does say send burial detail. So maybe that was us, like, maybe that's us sending back his locations or something. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about how we should proceed in the next episode. I have two theories. One is to work on trying to get a Cyclops so that we can go then explore down towards that other alien facility, or we can go through the, the Aurora, and go through that one and see what all we can find, if there's any blueprints or whatever besides the... I mean, I know what's in there as far as the prawn suit and all that kind of stuff, but any resources or things that might help us, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. In the meantime, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace!